Okay, now it's visible, right?
Yes, sir.
So if someone is not getting the slides, please let me know. Others, if it is visible, then you can ignore my words. Okay, so now which slide is visible? That contents, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Content.
Yes. Okay, so these are the contents of module 1. It starts with the basic concept of management, and in that management, the different characteristics of management will be there, and the major functions of management. So these two parts of the management, that is characteristics and functions, are the most important part of this module 1, and then the important and purpose of planning process. So in this function you will be getting certain parts, I mean in the function. So in that, planning is also a major part of this management. So which are the major important things, and the purpose of this planning process, that one also we'll study in this part. And then different types of plans are there, and after that this construction project formulation will be there. So this is basically comes under with the civil engineering aspects, right? So that management, the first part, that is common for all the things. I mean in all the fields we can use that management, but here at the second part, this construction project formulation, which is purely related only for civil engineering aspects. So how it will get works out in this civil engineering field, so especially with respect to the construction part, and then project organization, and then the management functions, and then the management styles. So these studies will be studying in this construction project formulation. And then the construction planning as well as the scheduling part. So here how we are going to plan in the construction field, and how we are going to assign the certain resources and certain durations for a particular activities, that one also will study here. And here this introduction part, and then these types of plans, and then this work breakdown structures, Gantt chart, and then this preparation of network diagram, and then events, as well as the activities based, as well as this critical path. So this critical path, in the sense, this maximum durations, that which activity is going to be consumed, so that one also will study here. And then the PERT method and concept of activity on arrow, as well as the activity on node system. So these are the contents of module 1. So now we are going to study one by one. So basically, first we are going to study the basic concept of this management, especially with respect to a term project, right? So basically project, which is defined as the combination of number of activities. That particular activities will be having certain start date as well as the end date. And even we can say it as a temporary and one-time endeavor, which is carried out to generate a unique product, services, or results. So here in this project, you can take any one example. So if you want to, 1 minute, now who is going to join? So as I told in the earlier classes, kindly join this within the class limit, or else again I need to come back and I need to allow you students for the class. So again, which is a difficult task for me. It is going to interrupt my entire session. So it's my kind request for all the students, join it within the session. So even I have given 5 minutes extra time. So please join the class at the right time. Okay. So here you can take any one task, you can take any one work. So that work will be having start date as well as the end date. I mean the start time as well as the end time. So you can take any one example, like you can take our own college fest function, that is ODC, right? So for that particular function, first you are going to decide that what, at which date you are going to conduct that particular function, right? So for that function you need to prepare so many things, right? So you are going to make certain departments there, like this what publicity department, and then stage department, beautification, and then food committee, cultural activities, like that, so on, right? So there, what you are going to do, you are going to divide that particular event into a different activities, right? So for that activities, which is going to start at a certain time and which is going to end at a certain time. So in the meantime, that start and end time, you will be having certain work to do, right? So that work you are going to distribute to the respective people, right? So that respective people which are going to define, I mean, which are going to be select based upon their decision. One person is good with communication, so he can go for the publicity, he can join the publicity team. And one person is good at stage decoration, he can go to that particular department, right? So like that, based upon that person specification and that talent, so he can join to the respective team. So here also in the our concept, that is comes under in a civil engineering concepts. So a particular project will be having so many tasks, such as site engineer will be there, architectural department will be there, execution department will be there, designing department will be there, safety department will be there. So here we are going to work, I mean, we are going to divide that entire work into number of activities, and then we are going to assign different works for the different departments. So that particular works which is completed by that particular department. So like that, here also this project will be having number of activities, that activities will be having a definite start as well as the end date, right? So here whatever we are planning here, so that is like a temporary. So in the upcoming days we can change that one according to the convenient, according to the obstacles what we are going to face while executing that particular activities. So sometimes rain may come, the concrete work may get stopped, so we can't predict the natural calamities, right? So that time what we can do, so we can replan that schedules so as per the convenient. So before starting any project work, we need to fix up with certain plans, so we need to move according to that, specifically with respect to the start date as well as the end date. So this particular project which will be there in all the field, right? So if you want to prepare a certain product, that time also you can plan and you can divide the work, you can distribute that work with a start and end date, they need to complete within that particular time as well as the budget, right? So this is a basic concept of this project work. And then coming to the part management, right? So here management, which is defined as the discipline of science as well as an art of planning, organizing, directing the human efforts to control, organize the work of organization members by using all available organization resources effectively and efficiently for assistance of human race. Okay, so here management, which is defined as a discipline of science as well as an art of planning. So here not only the technical things will be there, I mean in the management part, even it's like an art. So for everyone, this management skills, it won't come, right? So either we need to practice that, and it's like an art, we need to develop that one based upon our experience part. And here this management will be having certain part, that is planning, organizing, directing the human efforts to control, and then the organize the work of organization members by using all the available organization resources effectively and efficiently for assistance of human race. So here it's an art of planning. So here planning in the sense you are going to plan in a such a way that when you are going to start the work, when you are going to end that, complete that particular work, how much resources you will be having, and how you are going to utilize that one, and as per the client convenient and the client requirement, he will be having certain requirements, such as I need to complete the work within this time, I need to complete this work within this budget. So based upon his requirements, you are going to plan that entire schedule, since from starting till end. Because a person will be having, I mean, he required in earlier time, obviously the cost will get increases, because we need the number of resources at the right time, and even the whatever the work we are going to conduct, we need to finish that one within a particular time. So we need the resources in the higher level. So obviously the cost will get increases. And similarly, in some cases, he's not having any particular end time. He can come, I mean, the project team can complete at any time, so that time the cost may get reduces, because he may, I mean, he may work with that particular total budgets, so that the total budget which is going to be less for that particular client, so that time we can plan in a such a way that the budget should be less, but which is not specified with respect to the time. So like that we can plan according to the client requirement. And even, and here after the planning process, we need to organize the particular communities. So we need to divide that work, and we need to guide them. I mean, as a project manager, I'm speaking, if I'm a project manager, or if you are a project manager, you need to guide them with respect to different departments. So this particular department has to do these works within this particular time and within this particular budget. So like that for the next department. So that certain departments will be there in a particular project work, that comes under in this organizing system. And then this directing the human efforts to control. So directing in the sense, we are going to guide them as per the requirement of the client, as per the standards, as per the quality aspects, right? And then this organize the work of organization members, I mean, dividing that entire work to the department, and then that department which is going to divide that entire work which is given for that particular department into the various aspects. That time, that work which is easily distributed, and only that work can be done by that particular person, right? So who will be there in this organization members. And then by using all available organization resources effectively and efficiently. So here effectively in the sense that product, it can be increased. I mean, the whatever the rate of product will be there, it should be increases with respect to the input as well as the output. Okay, so this is a basic concept of this management. And here, what exactly in your syllabus they have mentioned, that is important characteristics of, or even we can say it as features of management. So here different characteristics are there. First one, management, which is an activity, and second one, which is an invisible force, and management is a goal oriented and accomplishment through the efforts of others. This is universal activity also, and this management, which is art as well as science. And multidisciplinary knowledge also will be having in the part of this important characteristics of this management. And management is distinct from ownership, and then this management which is needed at all the levels, and which is an integrated process. Okay, so these are the 10 important characteristics of management. So for everyone, the slides are visible and I'm audible, right? Yes, is it audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, thank you. Okay, so we'll study one by one now. This management, which is an activity. So here, management is an activity that is concerned with the efficient utilization of human and non-human resources of production. Okay, so here, this management will be having this efficient utilization of the human and non-human resources. So here we can distinguish the resources like human resource and non-human resource. So human resource, it's like what? For example, the whatever the work which is carried by the human resources, like project manager, site engineer, labor, BISTI. So whatever the work, it can be carried by the human resources. That is also comes under in the part of this production. And then non-human resources are nothing but money, time, and majorly it is materials as well as the machines. So those comes under in non-human resources of the production. So here this management which is purely dependent upon what these resources part, which is specifically required for a production process, right? And which is invisible force. So management is an invisible force, and its existence that can be felt through the enterprises or institution what it is managing. Okay, and here invisible force in the sense might be they can't come in front of the people, but they will be tracking that each and every department of the system. Okay, for example, you can take our own institution management system. Hardly you people are not knowing about who are the management members, but they will be having certain force, such as they are going to control the each and every system of that institution. Okay, so like that here also this whatever the management word will be there, so which is going to control and which is going to direct that each and every system who is going to work under that particular system. And then this management which is goal oriented. So here management is goal oriented as it aims to achieve some definite goals and objectives. It's like what a particular management which will be having certain goals in the sense they need to achieve something at the end of that particular work or at the end of that particular project work. So like that, which will be always with a goal oriented, like we need to do so and so works effectively and efficiently such that we need to come across in all the fields of that society, so that we should come forward with respect to this all our own aims as well as the goals oriented process which will be developed in the particular management system. Okay, and which is accomplishment, fourth one, that is accomplishment through the efforts of others. So here managers, they cannot do everything themselves. So if a particular management is there, they can't do each and every work which is comes under in the management. So they must have the necessary ability and skills to get work that accomplished through the efforts of others also. It's like they are going to run the management only, they need to do all the works and all, so they can hire few things and they can take the efforts of others. For example, here project manager only, he can't do each and every work which is comes under in the project, so he is going to distribute his own work to the respective the departments. So he is going to monitor those departments as a project manager, but each and every work he can't do. So to check the quality, he cannot go and check all the works qualities, right? And if certain safety facilities they need to provide, he can't go and provide those all facilities. So in that cases, he is going to assign certain works to his bottom management people, those who are working under him. So they are going to take care of that work effectively and efficiently, so that as a project manager, he is just going to check all the works of the departments, those who are working under him, right? So here management is also same. He can take, I mean, that management people or management system, they can take the efforts of others also. Okay, so this is universal activity. So this management is an universal task. So this management which is required in all the types of the organizations. So wherever there are some activities, there is a management, and the basic principles of the management which are like universal, and they can be applied anywhere and every field. And such as you can take business, and even you can take the social works, and even you can take this religious, and even you can take cultural, sports, administration, educational, even in politics and military also we can place this. I mean, this management term will be helpful. I mean, this management process, whatever we are going to study now, which will be there in all the fields of our society. And here sixth one, that is management is an art as well as the science. So here management is both an art and a science part, and it is a science as it has a organized body of the knowledge which contains certain universal truths. And as an art, we can give the example as managing requires certain skills and which apply more or less in every situation, right? So here in this part, management requires technical things also and even arts things also. So art is like what, just to complete that work with their own skills. So science which respect with belongs to what, we need to follow the technical aspects such that we can achieve the better quality and we can complete the work within time and within budget. Okay. And seventh one, which is the multidisciplinary knowledge, right? So here even though the management is a distinct discipline and it contains principles drawn from so many social sciences like psychology, sociology, etc. It's like what, this management will be helpful in all the fields such as psychology and even sociology also. And then eighth one, management is distinct from ownership. So here ownership is only different, management is only different. So we can say in the modern times there is a particular divorce of management from ownership. So today the big corporations are owned by a vast number of shareholders, while their management is in the hands of paid, qualified, competent, and experienced managerial personnel. Okay, so ninth one, that is this management needs at all the levels. So according to the nature of task and the scope of authority, management is needed at all the levels of the organization, that is from top level, middle, and even the lower level. Okay, and tenth one, that is integrated process. So management is an integrated process and it integrates the men, machine, and material to carry out the operations of the enterprise, which will comes under with effectively and successful. Okay, and this integrated process is result oriented. So integrated in the sense we should have certain combination with respect to all the departments and with respect to all the resources. For example, to complete any one work, you require even men resource also and machine resource also, right? And if you have men and if you don't have machines, which is difficult to complete. And if you have machines, if you don't have men, that also, which is a difficult task. So this is this management, which is like a integrated process, which needs at all the levels. Okay, and here comes the important part of this management, that is functions of management. So this one you need to study thoroughly, because in so many exams they have asked these questions, that is functions of management. So here there are 7 functions you can see here. First one, it starts with planning, and then scheduling, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and at last coordinating. Okay, so is it audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even slides are also visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first one starts with the planning part. So here this planning, which is an important phase of the project management, that includes certain objectives of the project and making the list of tasks or jobs to be performed. And third one, which will be having the determining the gross requirements of the materials, manpower, and equipments, and then the preparing estimates of the cost and durations of the various jobs or activities for the satisfactory of the project. So first one, it starts with objectives of the project. So which project we are going to do now, right? So that thing will be there in this planning process, which project we are going to do, right? And how we are going to conduct that particular project and what and all we require. So each and everything which will comes under in this planning process, right? And the objectives, which is purely dependent upon time, quality, as well as the cost. Okay, so these objectives of this particular management will be defined with these three aspects, that is cost, time, and then quality. Okay, so we need to work with respect to that before starting the project work. And this planning process, usually it should be starting before starting or before executing any task of the project work. So first we'll start with the plan, and then will do according to that planning process. Okay, and here in this planning process, the second point, that is making the list of tasks or jobs to be performed. So here list of tasks are nothing but, for example, you can take any road work. So it's like what you are working under in the road work. In the planning process, what you will do, so from where you need to start that road work and where you need to complete that. Okay, so that total distance is also matter, and total budget. So as per that budget, your work will get decided, right? And then here you are going to divide that work. I mean, the main objectives is nothing but what, which type of road work you are going to construct, and what are the funds are released to complete that project work, and then how much time, I mean the deadline they have given to complete that work. So these things we should keep as the part of aim, and we need to work based upon that. And here making the list of tasks or jobs to be performed, it's nothing but what, as I have told, you are working under in the road work constructions, you are going to divide that entire road work into the different activities. For example, first what you are going to do, first you are going to clean that particular I mean the place where you are going to construct that road work. And then after that, the subgrade will be there. In that subgrade preparation, and after the subgrade preparation, base course, sub base course, surface course, and then at last, I mean the surface course is on the last. And so these are the different tasks will be comes under in the road work. Okay, and again in the preparation of the subgrade, again the activities will get divided. So while preparation of the subgrade, so many aspects will be there, like first we need to clear that site, and we need to level that particular part which is going to construct by the subgrade. So for that subgrade, definite start time and end time will be there. So within that particular time itself, they need to start and they need to finish that work. Okay, and for that particular activity, we are going to assign the resources, like how many machines they required, which type of machines they required, what will be the cost of that machines, and in how many days they are going to finish that work. So here we have studied, we have divided the work, and we have assigned certain resources for that. So like that, in upcoming events also, they can specify certain resources, and as per that resources, they can work with respect to the definite time as well as the durations, sorry, cost. And third one, determining the gross requirements of the materials, manpower, and equipment. So this is purely dependent upon the resource part. So as per that planning, you have divided the work, and that particular work, how it is going to be taken with respect to the resources. So that time you are going to estimate the total material. So to complete this particular task, which type of materials are required, and how much quantity it's required. So each and everything you will estimate, and you will submit that one to the top management, so that they can give their all I mean your all requirements which you are specialized in a particular department. Okay, and like that, in this planning process, you will be finding out this requirement of the materials, manpower, as well as the equipments, and then preparing estimates of cost and durations of various jobs or activities for the satisfactory of the project. So here, estimates of the cost and durations. For example, if a project has to start, based upon that activity, you can calculate the total durations. I mean, based upon that amount of the work, based upon the total requirement of the work, you are going to decide the cost as well as the time. So that one you can complete it in the planning process. Okay, so this is the first part of the functions of management, that is planning. And after the planning, the scheduling will be there. So here the scheduling is nothing but the allocation of resources, right? So as we have studied different types of resources, can anyone tell, please? Can anyone answer? Different types of resources. In the previous class, we have discussed that. 4M, 1T. That 4M stands for? Can anyone please?
Money.
Very good. Money.
Man, money, machine.
Very good. Man, money, machine. And then one more M.
Material.
Material. Very good.
Ta-
Material. And then
Time.
T stands
Time.
for time. Okay. So there are, I'm happy for your answers. So 4M and 1T. So here, whatever we have planned the activities, so for that activities, we are going to provide certain resources. For examples, this 4M and 1T. Okay. So that things, it will comes under in scheduling part. So here you can see in this diagram, so they have required scheduled, and here this y-axis stands for the number of activities, I mean the list of activities, and here it stands for the durations part. Okay, and at this particular duration we need to complete this work, and at this particular durations we need to complete this work. So like that they are going to make a timetable, and they are going to execute that work according to this scheduled chart. Okay, and here, in other words, we can say it as scheduling, which is the mechanical process of arranging the planned functions. So whatever we have planned, so that one we need to work according to that, and that functions, or even you can say it as a jobs or tasks or activities of the work in time order in which they are to be performed, and allocating the materials and manpower which are requirements are needed at each and every stage of this planning process. Okay, and I mean in the construction process, and along with the expected completion time of each of the activities. Okay, so these things which will come under in the scheduling part. So scheduling part is nothing but what? So whatever we have planned the activities, for that activities we are going to assign the resources. Okay, so that thing only we can call it as scheduling. And then organizing. So here organizing is nothing but what? Which is consisting of dividing the whole project into the manageable divisions or sections, and systematically arranging the various operations by delegating specific tasks to the individual. So here you can see red person, what you can see here, red color person. So he is like a what? He will be in a top management, and it's like what? This middle layer management, and then this is lower level management. So here work which is going to be divided in various aspects, right? So here in a particular project, we need to divide that each and every work into the various aspects, such that work can be easily tracked and finish it off in an earlier time, within the time and within the budget. Okay, so here as per the specifications, we are going to divide that work, and we are going to assign that work into the respective organizing member committee. And here the relationships between the various personals are established, and organized structure of the project which is established by a simple flow chart. For example, you can take our own institution, like as I have given in the example in the previous class. Usually the chairman will be there, and then after the chairman sir, the management members will be there, such as the board members, and then after that principal sir will be there, HOD sir will be there, associate professors, assistant professors. So here not only the one person can teach all the subjects, so here the work can be distributed in various aspects, such that each and every work has been distributed for the lower level of the management, and then they are going to complete the work. Okay, so like that in the civil engineering aspects also, initially the project manager will be there. On top of that, CEO, you can take starts with the project manager only. So that project manager, he is going to divide the work with respect to all the fields, such as designing, and then executing team, and then architectural team, as well as this safety parts. Okay, so like that, here whatever the architectural people will design and draw the particular work or particular project, so after the approval of the project manager, which is going to be sent with other department such as the designing part, so as per the designing, I mean as per the architectural drawing, this design committee will is going to be design that each and every work whatever they have drawn. Okay, so as per that design only, this execution team will be going to execute that entire work and they can complete that work. So like that, work which is going to be divided for every person, such that as per the specialization that work can be carried out easily. So this comes under in the organization part. And then this staffing, so here staffing, that includes the provision of the staff to fill the various positions which are created to handle the project. So certain person will be specialized in certain task only, that we need to choose that one accordingly as per their talent, and we need to place that one place those particular staffs in particular field. Okay, so here also after this organizing, we need to select the people which are suitable for that particular organization committee. Okay, so that comes under in staffing part. And here it also includes the formulation policy for recruiting the right people, which are arranging the staff training courses and carrying the proper staff assessment. So for that only, based upon their talent, they are going to place in various organizational departments, so that depends upon their talent they can complete the work. And then the directing, so after placing the respective staffs as per the specialization, the directing term will be there as a function of this management. So here in this part, the directing is the concern with training the subordinates to carry out these assigned tasks and supervising their work and guiding their efforts. So here directing is nothing but what, giving the right directions for that committee members or that organizational members, such that as per your directions only they are going to complete the work. So that is done by this management system. Okay, and here the purpose of this direction is to motivate people individually and as a group to utilize their creative efforts in achieve the specified objectives. For example, a certain management system will be there, just they will tell you to do certain works and they are not guiding you properly. So here how you are going to complete that work without the proper direction. So the management team, they need to motivate that organizational committee members, such that as per their directions they will fix certain goals, and as per that goals they will be working with those works. Okay, so here also it's time directing in the sense giving the right directions and the training for the people, so that they are going to complete the work in earlier time. And then controlling, so once you direct them, then the controlling thing will be there. So controlling is nothing but this monitoring system, so whether they are doing the work as per your planning and aim stage or not, so that one you need to check in the controlling part. So that is done by this management. And then here controlling in the sense not only the progress of the work, even with respect to quality aspects and even with respect to time aspect also. Okay, so here they are going to check in all the fields whether you are going in a right path or not. So right path, it can be defined in all the stages with respect to a time, with respect to what work you are going to do and how you are going to do. So that one it can be checked in controlling system. So here thus the controlling system, which is the formal mechanism that is established to determine the deviations from the scheduled plan. So here they are going to plan certain things and they are going to assign you certain works, right, as per their plan system. And now in this controlling system, they are going to check whether you are going in their path or not, right? So that is checked in this controlling systems. And if something deviations are there, I mean any obstacles comes, so they are going to replan, and based upon that replan, again the reschedule things also it may get starts. And as per that replan and rescheduled, again the works can be restart. And last one, that is coordinating. So here in this coordinating system, which is necessary to bring the resources togetherly and the coordinate the work of the various departments and sections. For example, here in this diagram you can see, so these four persons are from four departments, and they will be having certain understanding between them such that they can complete that entire task. So if one person is not having a proper relationship with the other department, for example, the designing as well as the this executing part, so as per the design might be which is difficult to execute that work. For example, you can take the departments from architectural department to the design part. So architectural people, they are going to design, and in sometimes for designing, which will be a difficult task to the for the design purpose as per their architectural drawing, right? So that time they need to understand in a better way such that they can complete the work. So for this we need to have a certain coordination systems with respect to all the departments. So here for the coordination purpose, the regular meetings of the departmental or sectional heads with the top management are to be arranged. So for this proper coordination, for example, one work has to be start at a certain time and it has to be end at a certain time, and that particular end time which is known to the next task person, because he is going to start soon after finishing that activity. So they will be having certain coordination. Yes, I'm going to start this work at this time and I'm going to end at this time. So that information will be known to the next person such that soon after their work they need to start. If they have not communicated and they will start a work and he will finish the work, and this next person is not knowing anything about that the previous work, so that time again he will be waiting for the top management decisions, so that again he is going to waste that. So it's like a one example. We will be having certain bonding or understanding things, communication skills from one department to the other department, so then only the work will be completed in the earlier time. Okay, and for that only we'll be having in the management system, we'll be having the departmental meetings such that they are going to take their inputs. I mean, the individual department is going to be submit that work what they have done in this particular durations, and if anything suggestions are there for the department, so each and everything will be discussed in this coordinating system. So this is the functions of management, and to provide this coordination system in the management, it's like the determining the best solution for the management or to complete the work. Okay, so for today it's enough. We have studied characteristics, important characteristics of management, and functions of management. Okay, so there are I repeat just for the glance purpose, there are 10 important characteristics of the management and 7 management functions of management. Okay, so if you are having any doubts, you can ask me, or you can even put in the chat list also. So only 39 members are there. The strength is 65. Okay. Any doubt? If you're having any doubts, you can ask me. If you have not understood anything about characteristics of the management or functions of the management, Manjunath, you can ask. Something you want to ask, you can ask. Yes, just put yes, Dipesh.
So can you explain the important characters briefly, like
Important characteristics in the sense, it's like how it is going to be defined first of all. Okay, so here important characteristics in the sense, so which are its major part which will be there in the management. Okay, and here based upon this only the further part which is going to be start as per this characteristics. For example, you can take which is goal oriented, so which is a major which is a one part of this characteristics. So what it is going to be defined, this goal oriented in the sense, this management will be having certain aims to achieve, right? So that is will be there in the right path with the right directions. Okay, so that thing will be having by this management system. So like that other aspects also, so this management needs in all the levels, not only in the institution level, it requires in every fields. Okay, so like that which are these characteristics are there, that one we have explained with one by one with certain points here, right Dipesh? Dipesh, understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Anything else? Yes. You can place your name and USN. Make it fast. Yes, if you have placed your name and USN in the chat list, you can disconnect the call. Yellava, Ajit Patil. Ajit.